let's go ahead and start this thing off. And it starts off in West New York, Buffalo, of all places, Buffalo. And and it's crazy when I figured out how New York really works as a state. And it's like Buffalo's like at the beginning, like as soon as you ride into New York, you're in Buffalo. And then somebody was like, dude, it's 3.5 hours away from the city. I said, how I was like, how does that happen in this state is not even that big? Like
Mhm.
literally, yeah, it's driving to Vegas from Buffalo to NYC. It's crazy. But the real New York football team, New York State football team, the only team that actually plays in the state of New York, the Buffalo Bills. Jeff, last season they came into the year, they were they finished up with the best record in the division, 13-3. Lots of expectations. I myself picked them to win the Super Bowl last year. They didn't even get to the conference championship game. It seems like the team kind of went to pieces at the end of the year. And this is a 13-3 team, but you never, after what happened to DeMar Hamlin, you never had confidence in them again to win a Super Bowl after that because you knew that they were a dejected bunch and it pretty much like really broke them, season wise. And it's just pretty much wrap it up and let's get to next year. Even though I tried to hold the faith and feel like they were going to really do something, the writing was on the wall about 2 minutes into the Bengals game that they weren't going to do much of anything. And pretty much this year with them, what are your thoughts? And I'll go ahead and I'll jump in and I'll give you my thoughts on. But I want to hear your thoughts first.
I think you nailed it. The loss of what was it, the OC to Philly. You could start to see some chinks in the armor with Josh Allen making some boneheaded throws as the season progressed. I too had them winning the AFC, winning the Super Bowl, but the writing was on the wall. They never established a true running game. Um, they started to leak oil, and then the Hamlin injury, and then the rest was history. Cincinnati came into town in the playoffs, and snowy, wintry Buffalo day. And I think it was 14 or 13 nothing before you blinked, and the rest was history. And they've made some moves. They've upgraded some spots. Uh, James Cook, another year older. They bring in Damian Harris from the New England Patriots. They still have Diggs. They still have Gabe Davis. They add Kincaid at tight end. Uh, it's a team where I guess you got to decide, Pops, really is the Hamlin situation something that they're going to use as a motivational factor to say, hey, we lost focus. And they're not the targeted team now in the AFC. And they're not the talk of the AFC East. It's Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. So I have mixed emotions about the Bills this year. I have mixed emotions about how well they'll do in the East. So I'm kind of my expectations compared to last year are really tempered, Pops.
Well, me on the other hand, I just feel like what this team had their momentum. It looked good. It looked real good. They had the momentum. All that stuff was great for them. Josh Allen looked like an MVP candidate. He looked like he was about to become one of the top three quarterbacks in the NFL. You also have Stephon Diggs, who you felt number top five receivers in the league as well too. But then when you look up, that it's no running game. And when you think about the running gun, the running gun offense that they had, the K gun, offense that they had, the K gun point guard was Thurman Thomas, literally. And pretty much he was the point man to everything. So if Thurman was running, it was Thurman's running through that coming up as shotgun. If Thurman was catching a pass off a screen or something like that, that's important too because that opens up certain different lanes. And then the play action situation as well too, and probably the greatest play of all for the Bills, that draw going up the middle as well too. You had so many different options. Now, if they had a guy like Zeke Elliott back there with Josh Allen, they would probably be a team that you say, hey, they might have a good shot this year, even though you say Zeke is a little beat up, but you got a good system going on over there in Buffalo that you could thrive in with a guy like Zeke. But they're probably not going to look at that. But I truly do think that this Bills team is going to regress next year. When I look at how they're setting them up, they have themselves at win-loss of over under a 10.5. Division championship is minus 115. That's one of the bigger favorites to win their division as well, too. They're not even plus money. So I think that it's an oversell with Buffalo because you're just kind of looking at the eye test of what you saw last year. And they did bring back a lot of their roster, but Von Miller's a year older with that injury. I don't think that it's going to be the way that they think it's going to be this year in Buffalo. I really feel like if they can win 10 games, good for them. But I got them going under this year, Jeff. And I think that a division championship with those odds, I'll pass on that one as well, too.
It's kind of funny, 10-7, 11-6. I could see it either which way. If I had to bet today, I think I would lean the under, and I think a 10-7 is a good direction there. Do I see them winning the division? Put it this way: can they win the division? Of course, they can win the division. Today, do I see them winning the division? I don't. The difference between Thurman Thomas and James Cook, north-south, where they don't have that true north-south runner. It's more, got to bob and weave and then stick and move. And Damian Harris will help. But again, offensively, they do not establish the run game. They rather have Josh scramble and run and move the chains versus establishing the run game. So I agree with you there. I don't have high expectations like I did last year. Maybe I was drinking the Kool-Aid. And hey, listen, they could easily take it to another level. I just think there's too many moving parts in the division, never mind the AFC, where I'll take a hard pass. I'm not buying the sizzle this year. And again, I don't think they win the division. And I don't think, obviously, they're heading to the Super Bowl, Pops.
Right. And so when I say under 10.5, I'm going to have my list of all that stuff at the end. And I know Jeff will give that to me as well, too. When we get to the final division day, we'll have all the review of everything, and we'll pick our Super Bowl champion and AFC, NFC championship representatives, division winners, all that stuff. So we'll save that for that day. For that day, we're not going to spoil it because we still got a lot of preseason to go through, and it'd just be dumb if I be like, "Well, today the Bills are going to win the title," and then Josh Allen snaps his Achilles. It's just no, not yet. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to